Welcome back to EPA Worldwide. How have you been doing? What are you doing this special day in every mother's life? You know, personally, Mother's Day is every day because, I basically don't celebrate Mother's Day anymore because every day I celebrate it. I don't designate one day down and say this is going to be Mother's Day because, girl, I have come a long way spiritually, religiously, physically, emotionally. And so Mother's Day is pretty much every single day for me, okay? How about you? Share with me. What are you doing this special day? Okay. Remember I told you guys I was going to graduate this week? Yes, I did. Today is officially my final day in school. But I did take my final exams last Wednesday. So I have been really pretty much done with school anyway. But just to feed you in, thank you all for hanging in here waiting for me to come back. I appreciate it so much. Every subscription means a lot to me. I'm hoping that you will share this video to go fast so that we can reach 100 subscribers. We can reach a milestone. If I have said something in any of the videos and that upsets you, I'm sorry, but that is what EPA is about. EPA wants to help you eventually to deal with your own feelings. It's not what I say, it's about how you receive what I say, okay? So I'm sorry that some of you feel like maybe you have to subscribe and then go back and unsubscribe, or somebody, especially on Facebook, will come into my inbox and expect me to chat them. And if I send them videos to subscribe, then they will subscribe so they will have time to chat me. And no, I don't do that. I don't bribe people to subscribe. So your subscription is totally independent of you and how you feel about what EPA's mission is. Your subscription is to support EPA's mission. It's not to have time with me in my inbox. I just want to put that out there. But it will be nice to get to know you guys that are following me, that are subscribing, that are supporting. Kindly leave a comment and let's see what we can do to improve. Okay, so finally, Mamle Yuko Godwin is officially a psychiatric nurse practitioner. Remember when EPA first came out, it's 3 months ago, February the 8th or 9th. And I told you guys before the middle of the year, I'll have my master's as a psychiatric nurse practitioner. Yes, guys, it is finally a reality. God favored me. If you have not listened to this song by Hezekiah Walker, it says, God favored me. Go and listen to it, okay? For copyright purposes, I'm not going to play it, but go and listen to that song. This is my testimony. Or you can, the title is God Favored Me, and the artist is gospel artist Hezekiah Walker. How God favored me in spite of my enemies, guys. I live in the United States alone. I have few friends, and if you are watching me right now, Cecilia, I love you. I appreciate you. Made me cry this morning when you text me, check my DP. I appreciate it so much, and it means a lot to me. And such people are people you want to associate with, people who inspire you and you inspire them back, and you can support each other and you can build each other up and you can restore each other. We all have our broken pieces and we can help each other restore, okay? If you watch my Women's Day video, yes, I asked, are you a woman that builds, or you are a woman that breaks other women, or you are a person that restores, rebuilds? So what kind of woman are you? And Cecilia, you are that woman that builds, that restores hope and makes people feel like it is possible, regardless of how much and how many friends have let you down. having genuine people who are just so kind-hearted naturally. Being generous and being kind comes natural for me. And to see how natural and, so shout out to you. My friend Sissy is a subscriber, and she's a very good supportive friend also. And I just want to shout out for your support, and I want you to know that I appreciate. So I've been telling you guys that we dealt with narcissistic parental alienators. We continued, and we also talked last 2 weeks about the fact that the system is not for you. That was a continuation of the narcissistic parental alienation. Check out that video and all my other videos and watch them, share them, and get somebody inspired. Also, I want you to come with me on this journey today. As I told you last week, because of my school, my exams, and all that I had to my deadlines, I will just not leave you hanging. And I left a brief episode on depression, which is, we're going to tackle depression and dive into some other aspects of depression. So last week, I promised you guys I'm going to come your way today with coping with a narcissist parental alienator. If you are the targeted parent and you are dealing with this, if you find yourself in a narcissistic parental alienation situation, how to deal with it. And I also find this therapy group, good therapy on the internet, of parents sharing their views. Okay, so we're going to talk about it. We're going to read some of their views. These are real life people that have also dealt with such situation that I have dealt with. I'm dealing with. Somebody out there may be dealing with. You may not know. Your friends that comes to work with you, your friends that you engage in daily, may be going through it and you don't know. So kindly share this video to inspire somebody. Share it with your friends and family. Kindly subscribe. Kindly leave a comment. Kindly like. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. And encourage EPA Worldwide to keep going in this mission to bring an awareness to people. Okay? All right. Thanks for being here, and let's dive into today's. So, how we talk now. By now, you know what parental alienation is. You know who a targeted parent is. You know who a parental alienator is. You know what parental alienation syndrome is. If you have not come to know what these things are yet, kindly watch my other videos. Okay, all right. So we are not going to go into that, what parental alienation is and all that, but the topic is coping with narcissistic parental alienation. Consider these tips. Coping with narcissistic parental alienation. Consider these tips. Meaning, are you struggling with narcissistic parental alienation? Do you have something like that on your table right now? These are some good tips to consider, okay? So first of all, you must have to engage, even if you prefer to avoid conflict. Sometimes it gets to a point where you just want nothing to do with the kids, because it's tormenting, it's distressful, it's tiring to know that the child that you're advocating for, the child that you care so much about, is being used to hate you, to alienate you, to form an ally, his or her other parent, to see you as a bad parent, to alienate you, to abuse you, to direct their anger, their confusion, their frustration at you, instead of trying to get to know you and find out your side of the story. But instead, they go straight to it, what the alienating parent brainwashes and manipulates them to do to you or direct at you. Well, I told you guys of my instance when last year I have to take a back seat and say, you know what, I'm here for you. Whenever you want to come to me, come to me. But what I'm not going to entertain is to be abused by you, the child I'm fighting and advocating for. If I have dealt with your father who has been abusive and tormenting to me, and I've been fighting, so if you want to come to me, I'm here for you, I'm your mom, I'll be there for you. But to say that I'm going to entertain enduring abuse from your father and they have to come up and entertain abuse from you too, is just not going to happen. So I took a back seat for 2 months, and he himself realized, trust me, he let his school teachers call me, his school counselor call me, check on me. He wants to come to me, he want to hear from me. He's not hearing from me, and he pretends he don't know what he did. He pretends he was not disrespectful to me. He pretends what he didn't tell his school counselor and the teachers at school and stuff is that he was rude to me, he disrespected me, he abused me, and I am not putting up with that. So, so they said that as much as you want to do that, to prefer to not engage in conflict, it is wise. You may have to engage, even if you prefer to avoid it. As much as you want to engage, you want to avoid engaging to prevent conflict, you truly have to engage. You understand? You have to engage, because engaging brings about consistency. You understand? What worked for me may not work for everybody. You understand? Because I disengaged for that 2 months, the child has realized all that I have done, because I am a very consistent person. No matter what the alienating parent does, don't do, I'm still boom, 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 on point with what should be a good parent should be. A good, responsible parent who cares about their children, provides for the child, no matter where they live. I'm still paying child support. You guys know that. And the children live with me exactly 1 year now, aside the 2-parent home they were living in. So think about it. I'm always consistent. I still provided for them, and they know that. So when that 2 months of disengagement came, it helped him to analyze, put pieces together, realize things were not the same when he wasn't having that episode of coming to me. You understand? So please, even if you disengage, try to make sure the relationship's already formed. I always know I wasn't going to have a problem with my kids when it comes to relating with me, because I was already there for them. I had a solid foundation, with a foundational relationship. My foundation with them is strong and solid. So yes, they were alienated, they were used, they were manipulated, they were psychologically groomed against me. But the foundation I had with them, I knew would always make them remember me. So when I was disengaging as a punishment, as a discipline, and it did work. So before you try to do what I did, make sure you have already formed a strong foundation in your relationship with the kids. Otherwise, your disengaging will make them believe what the alienating parent is saying about you. That's one point to take home, okay? Always be consistent in your relationship with them. Now, create a plan and develop your resources. Yes. When you are faced with parental alienation, I have a court order to see my kids, but I'll go to have access to the kids. The alienating parent will not bring them. Even when I call the police sometimes will be made to believe lies, and he won't let me have access to the kids. Police can sometimes told me they cannot force him to let me see the kids, so I should go back to court. So I had to constantly be back and forth in the court, trying to have access to my children, trying to play a role in their lives. If they were having good life, their education, everything, I wouldn't even be bothered. But it is all to get at me. Watch my other video on how he even misled, plotted, planned, and got my son mislabeled as autistic when he is not. That was last month. I did that video last night. It's up there. Watch the videos. Okay, I'll put the link to under this in the comment section. You understand? So in such a case, what do? Create a plan, develop your resources. You understand? You are already painted as a bad parent. You are already groomed. This child is already groomed to perceive you as not a caring parent, as not a parent that cares or wants him or her. What do? You understand? You can send regular text messages, send emails, send letters. Most of the time, the letters will be trashed. I have been in that situation. Even I send clothes because I receive them in torn clothes. I receive them in torn shoes. The school teachers will use duct tapes to tape their shoes when I'm paying child support and they live with their own biological father. Their biological father will even take $4,000 to do shopping for himself to please women, except his children. They were starved and stuff. I would send food with them. And the father and whoever domestic partners are will trash my food, will trash my clothes. I don't buy clothes from Walmart. I buy durable clothes because they last. Not because I'm rich, but because they last longer. And if this person is out of it, that next person can have it. The clothes will be brand new clothes, brand new book bags, food will be trashed. These plans left memory in the kid's brain and know that they were loved, they were cared for. So constant planning to be the best you can. If you feel like you need to, like my little son, I used to be at his school all the time, having lunch with him. Those were the best memories he ever had, because I'm being prevented from having him. The big one, they wouldn't let me come to his school. But the little one, his teachers and the school were not so alienating and not supporting the bad behaviors of the alienating parent. But I will call the school and say, hey, what time is my son's lunch? They will tell me. I will go in on his lunch break and we will have lunch together. From work, came home tired, 10. Sometimes his break time is as early as 10 a.m. I am there. And these are memories he always talk about, he always cherish, okay? So that's some of the things you can do, resources that you can use, sending text messages and stuff. Take good care of yourself. That is important, because on the Mother's Day like this, right? Many times I haven't had access to my kids. Last year, for instance, is one of them. And not only are they being prevented from me having access, they are also being manipulated and brainwashed to believe that I don't care about them. That's why I didn't contact them on Mother's Day. I don't care about them. That's why I didn't pick them up on Mother's Day. You understand? And the kids will come and be like, I think that is such a person is hypocritical or this or that. He said this and that about you. He said that and that. But he is the one that does this. He's the one that does that. You see? Because I don't answer to what they say. Otherwise, that means I'm also engaging in parental alienation. But when you listen to the things they say, you can see that they are beginning to mature and beginning to put the pieces together and striking and contrasting as to who cares and who does not, based on our actions directed at them. So it is important. And on a day like this, being good and taking good care of yourself means you have your emotions under control when you face a situation like that where it's Mother's Day and you don't have access to your kids. Mother's Day, think about it that way. Take care of yourself. It is about you. It's not about the child. So if you are being prevented from having access to the child, it is the child's father or the child's mother, whoever the alienating parent is, role to call you and say, hey, the kids want to wish you Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. If not, so be it. Pat yourself at the back. Hug yourself. Give yourself some love. Go to the spa. Go get your nails done. Don't let them live like mine are right now. Take a walk. Go to the restaurant and get some fresh, nice, nourished meal. Take good rest. Take care of yourself. Check your nutrition. Check your mental health. Practice mindfulness. Go to the park. Take a nature's walk. Take a jog, walk or run. Do you know how much neurotransmitters that can be released into your brain and help with your emotions. Take care of your mental health. That is the time. I know it's sad. That is the time. I know you want to kiss your kids, hug them, and love them and experience them. But if it's not possible, divert that energy into yourself. Divert that energy into doing something good for you. Divert that energy into showing yourself some love, because you are worth every love you can get from yourself. Okay. Its next thing, it says that use your wisdom. Using your wisdom means the targeted parent, the alienating parent, is constantly plotting, strategizing, studied you so long enough to know what can get to you and what cannot. Break that cycle. Let him fail. You see, in my instance, the alienating parent has used the strategy so much, and it worked for him, even though he don't truly want the kids with him. He just want to hurt you. He just want to prevent him having to pay child support but receive child support. He just wanted the family house that he lives in now. Don't forget, he was even kicked out. The woman that caused our divorce, after a child with that woman, he was kicked out of the woman's apartment. What does that tell you? He paid for that woman to go to Jamaica to marry another woman 2 times. The woman took that vacation 2 times at the expense of him. And now you are there crying, and he tells everybody, I am the reason why his relationship with that person failed. Can you imagine? You see, when narcissistic parental alienators don't take responsibility for their actions, you understand? If you did these things to me and the person you did it with paid you back your own medicine, how did I cause that? You see that? So he constantly telling people, I caused his relationship to fail. Obviously, I caused my marriage with him to fail, right? You understand? But how do you practice using your wisdom to break that cycle where he do those things and turn around to plot and make people believe it is you who caused him that? When people call you, oh, your ex-husband said this, okay. Or your ex-wife said this and that. Okay, don't forget, parental alienation is done by both men and women. You understand? Sometimes the people we interact with and talk to are the same people that take stories and take to them. Like right now, I'm at a point in my life where anything I'm saying on Upper Worldwide, anything I'm sharing on this channel can be used against me in court. But I don't care whether I get custody or not. I'm going to talk about parental alienation. I'm doing things more deliberate now because I have emotionally grown. I have matured. I have accomplished. I have overcome. You understand? So it is important that you practice self-forgiveness. You understand? I have forgiven myself in many things, like even allowing myself to be married to such an abuser, allowing myself to be married to such a family who are so narcissist. The whole entire family are narcissistic. That is always about them. It's never about my children. It's never about anybody else. It's always, I need to be seen in the community. I need to be seen like the best. I need to be this. I need to be that. I have forgiven myself for allowing myself to be treated the way I was treated. I have forgiven myself for allowing myself to be made to marry into such a family when I won my own visa lottery, but they made me believe they were rather helping me. How can somebody who won their own visa lottery be used for their own selfish gain and instead turn around and paint a picture? I remember when I was getting married, make it seem like they were rather doing me a favor. And as naive as I was, I didn't recognize all these things. And thinking back, I used to ask myself, my God, I was crying so much on the day I got married. And I was like, why did I not turn down the marriage? Why did I? That was a sign to turn down the marriage. Why did I not? I used to blame myself a lot. But I have forgiven myself. And that is very important. Practice forgiveness of yourself. Practice not to feel ashamed of your reality. Own your reality. Own your scars. They are what made you what you are today, okay? Know your weaknesses. Yes, my weakness that has constantly been used against me is the fact that I am extremely emotional about my kids. I'm extremely wanting the best for my kids. I'm extremely wanting the best education for my kids. I'm extremely into fighting for what is best for my kids. But you know what I could have done? I know very well that this is a father that don't want his children. But the fact that the kids are not in the best living situation, that's why I keep fighting. So knowing that it's not like he wanted the kids anyway, what I could have done was take a chill pill and watch everything go on. And just avail myself whenever I am able to see the kids and interact with them in a very meaningful way, which I always do. But I should have focused only on that and not be going back and forth and wasting money paying lawyers. It was a lot. I paid over $200,000, tens of $1,000s. Yes, every side I paid a lot of money to lawyers, okay? If you ask me how I got the money, I don't know. I'm so broke, but yes. So I could have prevented paying all the lawyers all that money and could have just taken the little exposure or access they want and made good use of it. You understand? So I have forgiven myself in a lot of things. So practice forgiving yourself, and then you can Google self-forgiveness, forgiving yourself. How do you forgive yourself? I have an article I will be sharing in the future about that. You see? So practice empathy. Give yourself love. Security and stability is important when you are in this situation. Security and stability. You can't go to court and be fighting for custody or fighting, and then you don't have a place to live. You don't have a good job. You don't have a good career. You don't have a good income. You can't prove that you can feed your kids. It's been 1 year now. I'm still having my kids 100%, and I'm still paying child support, and I'm still paying my bills. Think about it. So you have safety, security, and stability is important. Practice kindness for yourself, okay? Be a good role model for your kids. Don't engage in the same practices that the alienating parent is using, okay? Unhealthy attachment. Be careful about that. Try to live in the abuse-free environment. Create an abuse-free environment for your kids, okay? And all will fall in place. I appreciate you joining. Enjoy your life, okay? Enjoy your life. We talk about that. Enjoy your life. Give yourself some love. And I said I was going to end with some experiences that were shared by some parents on this website. It's good therapy, okay? It says that. So for somebody said, co-parenting. There is no such thing with a malignant narcissist. That is so true. When it comes to malignant narcissist, like I just described, I described my other. You cannot co-parent with a malignant narcissist. It's just not possible. So, somebody replied to that saying that best to try to get full custody of the child if possible, though this is hard if they have manipulated your kid or the court into thinking you are the problem. This is exactly what I think I'm going to do this in 2 videos because this is going to be too long. So let's cut this short. I'm going to do another video. Right now as a backup to this video because it's going to be too long, okay? And that is going to tell you other victims' perspective